Welcome back to Football with Ben Roethlisberger. My name is Spence. And as always, I am joined here with two-time Super Bowl champion Ben Roethlisberger. There he is. Hey.
That's me.
Hey, that is you. And that's us.
That's us.
That's us, man. Good to see you, my brother.
That's us.
How are you? That is us back there, too. Do I have
In case you missed last week, that's us.
That's a great shot. I didn't set that up for
It's
that.
going to be our new merch table.
If you're only listening to this on Spotify, go to YouTube and watch the video.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a good week. It's a good start to the week, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot to talk about in this week's episode. A lot happening around the league. There's a lot in sports this weekend, right? We had some fights that I want to get your insight on.
The Steelers-Ravens fights?
No, but those were much more entertaining than one in particular. I'm talking about
you're talking like the real, real fights.
Yeah, like boxing. There was some boxing that took place.
And UFC, yeah.
And UFC that took place. Turns out you're actually not too old to play football. Because if there are people that age doing hand-to-hand combat,
oh, Iron Mike,
you could suit back up, my brother.
That was tough. I watched that.
Yes.
Because I was like, I love Mike Tyson in his heyday.
Yes.
Obviously Mike was arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Yes.
It can be argued, no doubt about it. And he was so much fun to watch. And I watched. And I was so mad I watched. Because I fell for the okie doke if we're gonna get into boxing.
Yeah.
Because I watched I didn't watch the show that was leading up, the series or whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
I didn't watch all that, but I watched some of the promo stuff, and you see Mike
Dude, he looked good.
And he looked great. But there's more than one take.
Yeah.
Because they made him look really good on those clips. And then he got out there, and I was like, I didn't realize, by the way, that Evan is like a diehard boxing fan.
Is he really?
Told me it's his second favorite sport to watch.
What?
I know. So much so that he makes his kids watch with him. So much so that he said that he was preparing food for the fight.
No way.
Like wings and
Are you serious?
Yes.
How did I know that? I just talked to Evan for like an hour.
I don't know. But yeah, so he's such a big boxing fan. But so I probably need to get his take on. But I was very disappointed in now the fights. Some of the fights before it
were awesome.
Those two girls fighting was crazy.
I think Serrano won that.
Yes, I think a lot of people think that.
That's her name, right? Correct.
I think I don't know, but yes, the one that didn't win.
Yeah, I think she's
won.
Yeah.
But I wanted Mike to just I wanted old Mike just come for one round.
Oh, you got old Mike.
Well, I did get old.
But it's not only that's the Mike you talking about,
no,
brother.
it wasn't Mike I was talking about. But I felt so like, and Ashley and I were watching. Ashley watched it with me.
Yeah.
And it was like, please don't die. Please don't die. Like, please don't. Like, that's all I was like. I just didn't want Mike to get knocked out and embarrassed.
No, so that's real concern. It's a real concern because and I didn't know any of this stuff, but he had posted something after the fact and was like, "Yo, dude, like apparently he had some health issues or something happened this past summer or whatever."
To postpone the first time.
So and I mean, everyone thinks about being 58 going in there, like everyone. It's concerns.
No, people do not think about. About 58. No, they don't.
I'm saying when they're hearing Mike Tyson's about to do that, everyone's thinking probably not a good idea. But I think we're banking on like Iron Mike genetics. We're like, well, yeah, but he's Mike Tyson. He's not me. So, but I think you did, man. Like he as he was walking, you saw the knee brace and everything. I will say, knowing what I know now from what he had gone through this year, that was wildly impressive.
Yeah.
At any level, do you feel like, for Iron Mike fans, it was just kind of cool to see him back out there knowing? No, not at all.
I was Iron Mike. I mean, maybe not. There's people that are big time that
right.
see him in the ring. But then I kept seeing him like biting his glove and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I felt bad watching him. Like I wanted him to win. I wanted to just bang, 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 bang. But it didn't happen. So
anyway,
I was disappointed. I didn't pay for it. Pay-per-view. I know people are like, "Oh, you paid and you buy." Everyone has Netflix, don't they?
Yeah, I paid $12 for it, $15 or whatever. They keep creeping the price up.
And the bigger issue was the streaming was awful.
Would you have paid for it just to stop the Circle of Death thing going?
Is that why I did that?
No, no, Netflix. Well, this is a big concern of a lot, like because Netflix has
the Christmas game, Steeler game. I'm severely concerned about that. Netflix needs to get something figured out.
Yeah, dude.
And it wasn't just here because we were in a group chat with a bunch of people.
Yeah, it was texting.
And in Tennessee it was going out. Yeah. In Ohio it was going out. And
It was
that
everywhere.
has to be a concern.
It was, I mean, and not only that, but you go online to Twitter or X or whatever, that it's everybody. It is like a thing that is.
I was so mad. Like it started pausing and Ashley and I were like, no. And I'm like, so I had to stop checking my phone for concerns that it might be like he got knocked out, but it was paused, so I didn't know what was going on.
See, we should have live streamed it. Because
better off than Netflix.
We should have live streamed the fight. Much. Yeah, that is one of the concerns, but
don't mess up the Steeler game.
I don't know what you got to figure out. I'm surprised. I mean, because you have other streaming services that have games. I mean, you look at Amazon, right? Now I know Thursday Night Football, a lot of people have their own opinion about that, but I don't know any complications like that. I mean, Netflix legit.
That was awful.
Get
it fixed, Netflix.
Legitimately,
or give us all free Netflix.
That's what I'm saying. A service that I paid for said, "Sorry, man, no,
not working.
We're not going to do that." Which is wild. Which I think is a good reason to maybe kick off the episode with a beer.
I love it.
Right. So yeah, that fight. What is nice though is we had a little bit of combat redemption on Saturdays. That was on Friday.
We did, but I have a question.
What's up? Don't worry about that.
Because I see on the label from here. Because once again, people, I have no idea what we're doing.
What's up?
It looks like there's a peanut on the label. And my son's got peanut allergy, so we probably shouldn't open that down here.
Don't worry about
because I'm guessing that's going to have some sort of a peanut flavored beer. And I love peanut butter. But we all know from Kutch's episode that I don't do peanut butter with things. And right now I'm feeling like this is not going to be a good thing.
To assume this is going to taste like peanut butter because you see a myriad of peanuts on the thing is a far stretch.
I was so excited to drink this beer because we're going to get into family dinner.
We are going to,
and we're going to talk about doing homework with your kids.
Yes.
So that's where I'm at right now. So I wanted something besides peanut. If that tastes like peanuts, I'm going to be so mad because I'm already boiling over right now.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Can I share this with people?
Okay.
Ben, I walked into you doing homework over here today.
I was doing the homework too.
It was. You'd be a great teacher. I'll leave it at that. You'd be a great teacher.
The parents would have wrote a letter to me.
Yeah.
It was my kids.
Yeah, it was my kids.
But yes, I do need to try a beer.
Yes.
And I'm just so right now, my blood is starting to boil even more because I have a feeling this is going to be awful, and I'm so excited for a good beer.
But
it's okay.
I can always get you a Yellow Belly. Right? You know what I mean?
Smile on my face. But yes, we had fighting redemption because we're about to have another fight right now. Saturday night, the UFC, which I'm a big UFC. We are big UFC people. Now, why is that thing pink?
Listen, when I poured it, I did feel like I messed up a little bit. I don't know anything about this beer either. I bought it. I'm going to be honest with you because I thought you would hate it. And I think you will. I think you will hate it.
I love that you bought a thing I'm going to hate. That's awesome.
We haven't had. I almost got you a porter, brother. I almost got you one of the.
You know what kind of mood I'm in. Huh?
Yeah. Well, now I wish I would have gotten an IPA.
What in the world is this?
Yeah. All right. Let's do this beer.
Okay.
Let's get this one out the way, and then we'll talk about the Stipe
like
and John Jones
beer.
This is for Devo.
Devo.
All right. So this is called.
I don't even want to smell it.
This is called. It's a smoothie sour with grape and peanut butter. You know what? You had forgotten to read that. That one's on me.
Really?
Sorry.
But I like peanut butter. I like an Uncrustable.
Right? This is basically the beer version of an Uncrustable. It's from Hitchhiker. We've had a couple Hitchhiker beers.
Like Hitchhiker,
a proud Pittsburgh brewing company here. It's a 6% ABV.
It smells pretty good.
Smoothie sour with grape and peanut butter is what this is.
I feel like because I feel like that's what I want to say, but it actually.
What do you think?
It smells like halfway decent, but then I just.
Dog, you know what it smells? No, you know what it smells like? No, it smells like a cereal, but I don't know what cereal smells like.
All right, here we go. I don't know.
It's like deep red. It looks like Robitussin.
So right now, I feel a little bit like Boz before he came on our show, which I'm not going to say that our show got him 6 field goals and maybe AFC Player of the Year, AFC Player of the Week, and probably All Pro nod. I mean, he should be the All Pro kicker. But I feel like the anticipation of this is maybe going to be worse than it is because right now I feel like I have goosebumps.
You feeling a lot like Justin Tucker right now?
I feel like like I've already missed one and I might miss another one when I drink this.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I might get sick by drinking this instantly. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you might want to switch to Spotify because I don't know what's about to happen. All right, here we go. Oh,
Is that bad? No. I'm so glad that was on the tight shot.
Oh.
Is it that bad?
There was something that got me. I have serious goosebumps all over my body right now. Okay. I don't like that. Like if I taste the jelly first and then the peanut butter or something got me, that was not good.
Oh yeah, that's not my favorite. That's not good.
It started out like okay.
Listen, this is not an indictment on Hitchhiker. You make a lot of really good beers, Hitchhiker.
No,
we're a fan, and this is why I picked it up, because we can trust you. This is more like a nah.
I don't want to do this. I mean, I know when we ball, you drink it all.
It's very accurate.
So nervous.
I think for a smoothie sour with grape and peanut butter, you guys nailed that flavor palette.
It starts strong. Like it starts like okay, it's a grape sour. Like it's
not my preferred beer.
Dear Heavenly Father, please be with me on this drink here.
There you go. Like an aggressive. It's like an aggressive communion.
No,
not any better.
No, it's the back. It's the initial flavor is fine. It's like a grape juice. It's the
linger.
It's what comes. Oh, no, sir. No,
Let me
sir.
see. And it hangs out. That peanut. That peanut butter is.
It's not. It's No, sir.
Maybe that's how it's pronounced.
Nope.
Yeah, it's the whole time.
Again, Hitchhiker. Y'all do some great stuff. That just is not it for me.
That's a.
And if you guys like peanut butter and jelly, yes. And I do like, but actually, I like peanut butter and jelly.
But that doesn't feel the same as what you're talking about. This is a different.
I don't know. I want to keep trying it because I want it that. I mean, I don't want to keep trying it.
Yeah, go ahead.
But that second half taste is something that I want to describe, and I just can't. And I needed it's like, let me just try it again. But I'm not.
That's what I did. I just did. That's a bold choice, serving 16 ounces of this.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
I'm not doing that. I'm done with that guy.
Yeah. All right.
Appreciate you, Tiger, for everything else you do, though.
Yeah, everything. Some of my IPAs on point. You guys have a lager that's really good. I don't remember what it's called, but I wish I had one of those now.
That's just not.
There you go. Hey, we'll check it out. It's called
Yeah, you guys should definitely check it out.
And tell
it's
us
definitely unique.
And tell us why we are wrong. Here you go. That's what it looks like. Boom.
Please let us know why you love it and we don't.
Yes.
UFC fight was really good though Saturday night.
All right. So we had John Jones. Stipe. I think it went the way.
Stipe from Cleveland. I mean, kind of fitting. Body shot. No, listen, that body shot, he took that spinning kick to the
buddy.
Ash was watching that one with me too. I woke her right before the fight started. And she was in so much, like she's telling me, my wife used to be in cardiac surgery, like doing surgeries, opening people, like doing some of the most grotesque, weird things.
Yes.
And has no problem with it. And she was like, she's telling me, she's like, I'm sick to my stomach. She goes, he has a lacerated, like everything. Like, he has internal bleeding, is what she said. Jeez. She goes, I'm sick because I know he's got to be like something. Now, he did his interview and he retired, did all this stuff, but it doesn't mean he wasn't like, spitting, peeing blood, all that stuff. The best part, didn't it, not the best part, one of the funny things wasn't at the end, I forget if it was Jones when he's like, I kicked him in the liver. And Rogan's like, liver's on the other side. Yes. That was actually the kid, like something like that. That was actually pretty funny. But I
love Joe Rogan's like actually.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's hilarious. Joe is awesome. Yeah. But that whole night was awesome. The fights were great. Oh my goodness, my mind went blank with who fought right before him. The Brazilian guy that everyone loves. Yeah, Charles Oliveira.
Here's the thing.
Unbelievable.
I really like Chandler.
Yes, I do too.
I really like him as a fighter. But I feel like the last 4 guys he's called out hasn't gone his way. I know he was supposed to fight Conor, right? Yeah. And, that went how that went. But
no, I just Oliveira is an animal.
Freak of nature.
I mean, an absolute animal. But that card was worth the card.
Yeah.
I enjoyed staying up for that. I hate staying up till like 1:30 in the morning. Like, that's miserable.
Yeah. I almost came over.
You should have.
Yeah, I know. It was my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
But she was fast asleep by the time that happened.
I was going to say, she was long gone by that time. Yeah. But, so there was some interesting fights this weekend, and it carried over into Sunday. So that was Friday fights, Saturday fights, Sunday fights, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. We'll get into that game at some point.
Yeah, well, let's jump in around the league real quick, man.
Just in my mouth.
Dude, it's still, for you guys listening, thanks for tuning in. That beer is still hanging out. That's a tough one to
It's crazy because the beginning of it tastes like grape juice. Like it's a grape. It's very good.
It's like a real aggressive communion. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's like, how many beers do you want to do today? I got 2 on deck, but do you want to wash it down with something? That's
I kind of did with my yellow belly.
Okay, yeah,
here.
that's
7 here. 7 here tonight. We need some food. We need something to.
All right, so
okay,
let's do this. There's a lot that happen around the league, but I feel like a lot of times when we do around the league stuff, we pull highlights and just kind of get your take. Let's do a rapid fire. Let's try to go through every game. Right?
Take it around. We need to have some sort of like a cool
graphic.
Yeah, or like a salt, like a.
I almost hit that
train. Around the league.
I almost hit like I'm like, that's probably copyrighted.
That's not going to be legal.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely
So.
Okay.
All right. Let's start in the north. All right.
In the north.
All right.
But not Pittsburgh.
No.
Oh, you go north. NFC north.
Yeah. It's NFC north.
Okay.
Green Bay, Chicago. Green Bay takes that by 1 point, blocking a field goal.
Blocking a field goal.
Yeah.
Never should have won that game. You don't block a field goal to lose. That game should have went to Chicago. Caleb Williams is. I know there's been some talk like, do you save him? I think the OC there in Chicago is struggling a little bit. I still like Jordan Love. I think he's a really, really good football player. I think he's a good quarterback. Packers end up winning by 1, but did they? I don't know. I still think I think I'm looking at records. Chicago 4-6, not good. Green Bay 7-3. Green Bay's still going to be one of those teams to reckon with, in my opinion, come postseason.
Okay, moving on. Jacksonville and Detroit.
The only thing to say about that is Detroit Lions are probably the best team in football. They showed it. Yes, they played the Jaguars, who are one of the worst teams in football. Paid their quarterback a lot of money in the offseason, which seems to be a theme recently because we're going to talk about the Giants, I'm sure, who also paid a quarterback who's not playing very well. Never going to just blame the quarterback, but there's some teams that pay their quarterback a lot of money and they do well. There's some teams that pay quarterback a lot of money and they don't do well. Some guys get a new paycheck and play really well, and some guys are just happy with getting paid, so they're done. Cam Hayward got paid, playing well, as you'd expect, consummate professional, great job. That quarterback's not doing well in Jacksonville. Maybe there's other reasons, but the Lions are showing why they are going to be a team to reckon with all the way through. My only question is going to be, can they win in the elements in January? They're not going to have to, though, because everything's going to run through Detroit.
I concur. All right, Las Vegas and Miami.
Next? Who cares? Well, I'll say this. Tua made it through without getting hurt.
Awesome.
Love
to see that. All right.
No one cares about the other two.
All right. I'm sorry, dog. That response caught me off guard. All right.
That's like, hold on. You know what? Do you ever remember like in high school basketball when they do the introductions and the posing? Did you ever see this? Like,
yeah, I definitely played high school basketball.
No, but you might have been in the crowd. when you're like the home team, right? You're the student section, and it's like, now introducing the visiting team, starting at point guard, and the student section holds up like a newspaper, and they do like the "Who cares? Go home." That's how I felt that last game.
Okay, well,
who cares?
Well, we gotta start getting you props then, man. We're like some newspapers.
That was very aggressive. I apologize.
Yeah, but very well articulated in your example. All right, here we go. The Rams and the Patriots. Rams take that 28-22.
Go home. That's not who. I mean, listen, the Patriots are the Patriots. The Rams are a team that show life sometimes. They don't, and other times. I don't even know who won the game. I think the Rams did, right?
Take that. Yep.
I like Drake May as a potential guy. I know a lot of people don't. Not a lot. That was really bad to say. Merrill Hodge didn't really like Drake May.
Is that any better to say? Like, oh, I know a lot of people.
Well, I'm
gonna single out.
That's another game to me. Doesn't pertain to the Steelers. Patriots aren't going to make the postseason. Whatever.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Well, let's do something that does pertain to the Steelers. Let's go Cleveland versus New England. New Orleans. I was looking at the one above. Cleveland, New Orleans. New Orleans took it.
Yeah.
How we feel?
James Winston goes for almost 400 yards. Sounds great, but they also gave up I think the Browns defense gave up 200 plus, almost 300 yards rushing.
Jeez.
Made Taysom Hill look like Bo Jackson. And I think Taysom Hill's a fine football player, can do a lot of things. He's the Swiss Army knife of football. But what are we talking about? What are we doing? Where's that Browns, that defense that all you heard about all year, maybe one of the best defenses. I just, whether it's injuries, I saw at one point Ward went down with an injury. I don't know if he came back in the game, but listen, let's just mark that up for a W for Thursday for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Even though Brendan Conley says that's a trap game, it's a Mike Tomlin trap game, so he has no faith in Pittsburgh, I believe.
Wow.
I think it's a
that's Brendan BRE. No.
Yeah, pretty much. He lives at his number. We'll get into that game this week, but we don't even need to play the game really Thursday, to be honest.
Okay, well, side question to this game, and we'll keep running through the league here. I know James used to play for the Saints. How much have you seen in your career somebody who, I'm thinking about Patrick Queen this week, right?
Yes.
Somebody who's played for the team you're going up against. How much does that impact your game plan? How much does that help?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the position. There's been times that we've played like a quarterback that was maybe a backup with us, then was a backup at another team. You worry a little bit about when you have a player like that at a quarterback position or an offensive skilled position where they could definitely go and tell the other team, hey, listen, this hand signal means this, watch for this, things like that. I would worry a little bit like Jameis, but if systems have changed, if coaches have changed, things like that, then it could be a whole new system, right? Sure. When it's the same team, if we had a backup, say here, and he goes to a team, we're about to play them, and literally it's like 2 weeks after, you're like, okay, we got to really think about this. We're going to change some signals up. Like you have to be alert for that. I think when you go like when you talk about Patrick Queen or Deontay Johnson, right, who was here and switches Patrick Queen, there have been some other guys. That's a little less. Like, what can Patrick Queen really tell? Is he going to go tell offensive guys, hey, listen, this when the defense checks this, it's going to be like it's a little bit tougher to do in certain positions. Quarterback is one, but I can't imagine. I should say this. I think there's more to the notion that there's like a revenge factor, right? Like Patrick Queen wants to beat Baltimore because they didn't want him. There's more to that, and him maybe playing a little harder, wanting, he gets that strip sack, which we'll talk, or the strip, the fumble at the end of the half. Plays like that, and a guy kind of having a little revenge factor mean more than him trying to share secrets on a play call or whatever.
Sure, get a little bit more hungry.
Yes.
That's exciting. All right, so Minnesota, Tennessee.
Yeah, I would say, Minnesota is one of those teams that kind of people can't quite figure out. I think they're a really good football team. Their record shows it. You get some really good play from Sam Darnold, who's playing at a high level right now. I think a lot of that is a result of their head coach. I think he's a really good football mind, a good football coach. They've got some really good weapons. I will say they played the Titans.
There is that.
Maybe enough said. It was in Tennessee. It's always good to go on the road, get wins. So if you're Minnesota, you're probably saying, hey, we won on the road. We got to win. We didn't fall for the trap. Good for us.
Yes. All right. Indy and the Jets.
Yeah, boy. Listen, the only thing out of that is that Aaron Rodgers is lost again. He doesn't – I don't think he's just not scaring people like he once did. And I don't know if it's because of him. And I'll never talk bad about a player that's a Hall of Famer, considered one of the best to ever play it. Same reason I won't talk bad about Justin Tucker when we talk about his missed field goals in our game. Now that's huge, but I'm not gonna ever talk bad about a guy like that. But I think the bigger story in that game is the return of Anthony Richardson, AR, who I think and heard and read that he kind of took offense to the benching to 72-year-old Joe Flacco. And so I think that is a bigger deal. Him coming out, going to New York, getting the win. Again, you're going to say the Jets aren't really good, whatever, but you're always playing Aaron Rodgers. You're always playing a guy that has potential, Devontae Adams. And so he showed up. He made plays. He gave him a chance to win the game, and he ultimately won the game. So I think that's the bigger story, the fact that he's like, I'm hungrier because of my benching.
So when you're a guy like Aaron Rodgers, like you said, probably a Hall of Famer. I don't think that's an arguable thing. But at this stage in your career, are you thinking about legacy? Like in your last year or so, are you thinking about legacy? Are you thinking about, no, I want to, are you able to really dial in, hey, we got to get ready for this week?
Yeah. I would say that with someone like Aaron, and this is just my total speculation, it's just my opinion. Someone like Aaron, his legacy is cemented. Like, he's going down as one of the greatest of all time. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's everything that you want to talk about when you talk about an NFL quarterback. Now, when you look at the tail end of his career, and Achilles last year, 1 game. This game, there are 3. Have they won 3 games? 3-8.
Yeah.
They're not going to make the postseason. Not going to win the division. He has said, I believe, he wants to come back for another year. I think Devontae even said that the only way he was going to the Jets was if Aaron was coming back for another year.
Okay.
If he goes from Achilles to 1 game to this season of say they win 5 games, 2 more games, to next year is like he says maybe next year's not his last year. I'm not going to assume that next year's his last year, but let's just say it is in New York. And they go and they win 5 games again. The tail end of his legacy is, his legacy is cemented. I'm not trying to make a big deal about it, but you're going to look at the last 3 seasons and just kind of be like, should he have played? Should he? What's the thought process? Is he still scaring people? Again, their line is a bigger issue to me just watching from 30,000 feet. And Aaron can't block for himself, but he can still make throws. He can still do some amazing things. But I think when you look, I'll say this: when he hangs it up, I don't think anyone's going to sit there and say, you know what, he was great, but those last 3 years were awful. Yeah,
and I just don't buy into the washed conversations for somebody like that. Like,
no,
you know
it's
what I mean?
Hard, it's hard to be that guy.
Any point, obviously time always wins, but at any point in time, like that's still in there, man. That's still Aaron Rodgers, dog.
Every single game, I'm like, he could still go for 400.
Yes,
like you still believe that there's a chance. Like he kind of had a chance to win that. They got the ball back late in the game. You always think Aaron Rodgers has a chance to win the game.
I think it's just
when he played in Pittsburgh, I'm all a little nervous. It's Aaron back there. You never know.
That clock has to be at 0 for me to breathe. Yeah, I agree. For sure. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to be 3-8, but I wouldn't know. I'm a Steelers fan. All right, so moving on, we're gonna go to Seattle and San Francisco.
Yeah, I would say my first thing is, I think going into the season, I think everyone kind of thought San Fran was going to be a team. And I think they have a lot of the weapons. Now they dealt with some injuries here and there, but and they're not out of it. They're 5-5. But if you were to tell me, hey, how would you rank them in the NFC? I'm not putting them ahead of Minnesota. I'm not putting them ahead of obviously not Detroit. I would put Green Bay ahead of them. Like they're middle of the road in the NFC, in my opinion. Now, could they get hot because of the weapons potentially? I obviously wouldn't put them ahead of Seattle. I don't know Seattle's record, but they're both 5-5 now. I wouldn't put them ahead of Seattle right now. Obviously, you just saw they went to San Fran and won it. Geno Smith wins it late with the scramble. So I would just say right now, if you're San Fran fan, you're disappointed in where your expectations were. How about let's compare Steelers preseason to Niners preseason.
Yeah, dog.
Niners are Super Bowl contenders. They're got to go. Steelers are so many questions. You don't know who your quarterback's going to be. And now you've got the Niners who are middle of the road in the NFC and the Steelers who are arguably one of the better teams. I'm not going to put them at the top yet, but one of the better teams in the AFC. Wow.
Yeah. Do you feel like, because you said that a couple of times, and I know we'll probably get deeper into this when we start talking about the game. We said a couple times that when we've talked about the Steelers, like, I'm not going to put them at the top yet. Now, we are at the top of our division. Do you find yourself being more critical of the Steelers because you've played and you have a higher expectation for your boys?
No, I think I'm being honest. I mean, I always hesitate to jump on any bandwagon too soon.
Okay.
Especially if you look kind of like the body of work. Like we talked about the Steelers. We talked about the 2 New York teams. We're like, okay, that you can't even judge them. We said coming out the bye, Washington. Let's talk about Washington, and then this is gonna be a big game. This is like a statement temperature game, and they beat Washington at Washington. We're like, okay, this is awesome. But then you see Washington, which I know we'll just jump on that game now. Thursday night they play in Philly.
Yep.
They didn't really look that good.
They didn't.
The rookie Jaden Daniels is starting to look a little bit like a rookie. He's still playing well, but it's like, okay, so then I'm like, well, are Steelers that good? Like, I'm always trying to be that guy. Like, I want to be the guy glass half full, but I also like try not to get my hopes up too much because I don't want to be disappointed if something happens. So I'm like, okay, maybe Washington's not that good, so let's not get too high. We got Baltimore this week. This is going to be a big test. Now we go beat Baltimore. And I'm like, now, okay, I had Baltimore as potentially a better team than us, even though their defense was suspect. And I'm like, well, we just beat them, took care of business. But then you're like, if you look at the game, you looked at the things that happened in that game, that like Derrick Henry hasn't fumbled over 500 carries and he fumbles. Lamar hadn't thrown an interception 100 and some attempts. He throws an interception. Like the things, Justin Tucker misses 2 field goals in a row.
Yeah.
Like things like that just don't typically happen, but they did. Well, I guess they do when Baltimore plays Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I was like,
but you know what I'm saying? So then I just keep trying to not get too excited. I think I'm trying not to get too excited because I am excited.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah. You're like, yo, just it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You don't want it to be too good to be true. Yes, for sure.
But
No, I get that.
But I'm kind of like, so I'm not gonna put him at the top of the AFC, but I'm gonna put him like in the top.
Yeah.
Probably 3.
Okay. Well, we got an AFC game coming. Well, we got 2 AFC games coming up here that will maybe give some insight into that. Next one here, though, is going to be Atlanta and Denver. Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Bo Nix early in the season. We played them. He looked like a rookie. Now, here's what I would say. I would say, without diving too in-depth to stats and all that stuff, because I don't know all their stats, if you took Jaden Daniels at the beginning of the season and kind of up to this point in the way he's played, you're talking MVP candidate.
Yeah.
And Bo Nix early in the season, you're like, okay, maybe they shouldn't have drafted him where he was, right? If we're being honest.
Yeah. Early.
Yeah. And now you look at where they are the last, call it 3 weeks. It's like, okay, Daniels is starting to play a little bit more like a rookie. I'm still playing well. I'm not saying he's not playing well, but not to that MVP candidate level like he was early. And now Bo Nix is like, holy cow, he's throwing for 4 touchdowns every week. He's doing some really good stuff. And so now you're starting to see like a little transition shift there. The Falcons are a team that have shown some flash of being good and then some flash of being terrible. So it's hard to judge off that. But Denver's 6-5 now, and they're a team that, man, maybe at Mile High it's a little different ball game. So I'm not going to write Denver off yet like I was earlier in the season. I'll tell you that much.
What week are you making those, like adjusting your assessment? You know what I mean? Because we're comparing.
I've made an assessment now, right? The halfway kind of point, you make an assessment. And then I think the biggest one is going to be probably the next 2 or 3 weeks, right? Going into what we call the fourth quarter of the season.
Okay.
It's like, okay, this team's hot, this team's not. Because the key to the NFL season is you can be a great football team all season. And as you get to those last couple games, if you're not playing well, then you're going to the postseason trending down, right? You could have a terrible season or not playing well, but all of a sudden catch fire the last couple, which that's what we did for our Super Bowl run. It's like, okay, we're not supposed to make the postseason. We had to win like all of our last couple games just to get in. It's all about when do you get hot. Don't get hot too early. Get hot late. So that's why it's hard. Like I want to tell you, how's this team playing at the right time? And so that's why I want to say fourth quarter. Who's starting to play hot right now? Who's that team that's sitting right on the bubble of the postseason and not, but is rattling off wins and all 3 phases look good? I'm like, that's a team that you might want to watch out for.
Interesting. Speaking about downtrending, let's go to Kansas City and Buffalo. That was an exciting game.
It was a good game. I think I'm still putting those 2 teams at the top of the AFC. Okay,
rightfully so.
No reason, no reason not to. It's hard to take away from the Chiefs, who are going to be, they're going to be there at the end. I mean, they're going to be there. I would even venture to say that sometimes when a team loses its first game, that all of a sudden they're more dangerous. Which I know Patrick has said, we're going to use this as fuel. Sometimes it's scary because there's that chase of perfection, right? That the Patriots did the one year. That teams, they're chasing that perfect season. And all of a sudden, when the perfect season's not there anymore, it's like, oh, we can just kind of relax and just go play. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know who they play this coming week, but it's going to be interesting to see kind of what do they look like next. There's a chance they're going to look better. There's a chance they're going to come out and be like almost more relaxed, almost more free, So they still. I'm never writing the Chiefs off. I think what you saw was a team in Buffalo that like, okay, Josh Allen, MVP like stuff, that long touchdown run he had at the end of the game, taking the game over. You just felt like at any point if they don't convert a first down, Patrick's going to get the ball back and they're going to go win.
Yeah.
And Josh like, you know what? I'm not even going to give him the ball back, give him a chance. So I just think what you did is I'd hate to say you saw the Chiefs take a step back. I think you saw the Bills take a big step forward.
Yeah. Well, they play the Panthers next week, so
who does?
The Chiefs. So I don't know if
rebound.
I don't know if Patrick's going on vacation or
I don't
know. No, I love that. What was the year that they were in the AFC Championship game, went to overtime? Patrick came back and won in 13 seconds.
Oh yeah, that was 2 years ago. I think.
Was
it? I think it was 2 Super Bowls ago.
I feel like that game, or at least that season, spawned a rivalry between these two, and they're two of my favorite teams to watch play each other. That was a phenomenal game.
2 good quarterbacks, 2 good teams, 2 good coaches. That's a fun rivalry.
Well, sticking in the AFC, let's go to Cincinnati and Los Angeles Chargers. A team, the Chargers, that I didn't realize was as good as they are.
So that was going to be. So I went to bed before halftime last night, so the Chargers are a team. So Cincinnati's still like a team to me that can be scary because I think Joe Burrow's still a really good quarterback. I think his weapons are crazy. The defense makes me a little like okay, like that'd be the part that would make me nervous as a Bengals fan. I don't think their defense is great. And so I'm like, okay, I think Cincinnati, I don't even know their record. Since he's probably 500, 4-7. Okay, so they're not, I mean, they may not have a chance to get to the postseason. But they're a team that watch, in the next couple of weeks. If they go on this little run and win, I got the Steelers twice, so that's going to be, big. But if they went on a little run and rattled off 5 or 6 in a row, just, check it out. They're a team that could get hot at the right time, and you don't want to get hot at the right time. But that game more, I want to talk about the Chargers. The Chargers, I don't know if it's because they're West Coast and you don't get all the news, but they're like kind of like a sneaky little team that's sitting at 7-3 that's not winning flash. I think they got the number 1 ranked defense in like certain categories. Whether it's yards or
he wasn't
points.
playing last night.
Khalil Mack didn't play last night.
Yeah.
Someone had said that they don't. Maybe they said in the broadcast that like their defense kind of sits back. They're like, we'll let you run the ball here and we'll let you do this, but we're not going to give the big play. Mm-hmm. But they're ranked first in something. I don't know. It may be overall or yards given but the Chargers are a team that just is a little bit scary. You got I think Herbert's a great quarterback. And you got a coach, and you've been reading a lot about like culture, right? Like what's their culture, and they're all talking about how the culture changed and under Harbaugh and this, that, and the other. And they're just one of those teams that could just like find a way to sneak in there and be good. So I would be concerned a little bit about the Chargers as they as think he's proceeding.
Honestly, man, I think it's the Harbaugh effect. I mean, Justin Herbert is one of my favorite quarterbacks. I love watching him play. Tough, huge arm. Like, I think he's smart, but it's the Harbaugh effect, man. He shows up in Michigan.
Yeah, it's the khaki.
It's the khaki.
The khaki is not a khaki. He's wearing it black, like a dark colored khaki. Was it
still? That's all right. Is khaki the color or the fabric?
The color. But like
the chino fabric, is that it? Yeah, the khaki is the color.
Khaki's a color.
Right.
But a khaki is, I mean, if you're wearing blue khakis, why are they called blue khakis then?
That's a great question, man. Let's stop the show and figure this out. It's not like
we'll
we have
be back in a little bit.
So you got the Harbaugh Bowl coming up.
Are they playing each other next?
Yep. Yeah, so that's...
I would love if they don't talk to each other.
Just like Stone Cold. Speaking about coming next, man, you got Dallas and you got Houston on Monday Night Football.
No, we don't.
Next. Well, come on, it's the don't mess with Texas, man.
Nah, who cares?
Talking about, hey.
Who cares? Bart's Cowboys are done.
Well,
no one cares about them. The only thing you got to really consider or think about is what is Houston going to look like? Like, are they a team that's going to start to play, get hot? I love C.J. Stroud. I think he's a great football player. They've had a lot of injuries to deal with. But at the end of the day, no one cares about the Cowboys except for Jerry and
Bart.
Yeah. So move on. Next.
Yeah. All right, man. Well.
Is that all of them?
That's them all. That's them all, man. Except for one really important game where the Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Baltimore Ravens yet again. I saw a stat this week that we won 8 out of our last 9 matches with them.
That's it.
And I think that was just the stat in which surveyed the last 9. They got us one time, but all 9 of those were one possession games, one score games, man. So,
well, yeah, that's the way the game always is that way.
So that is, in my opinion, the greatest rivalry in the National Football League. Only Baltimore is capable of scoring 2 more touchdowns than us and still losing.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I was trying to like pinpoint why, I would just say that, and I want to say this with all due respect, right? When you say it with all due respect, I think you can say anything you want.
Really?
I think
anything.
So I think people in the South feel that way.
Oh, well, let me get my notes.
Literally say either bless their heart or with all due respect.
With all due respect, sir.
I'm gonna say this because I appreciate this guy. I think he's a really, really good coach. He's a Miami, Ohio guy.
Hey.
But to be honest, I really think that Mike Tomlin's cooking in Harbaugh's kitchen. He's all in that. He's all up in here. Brownies. He's Chef Evan up there.
Oh.
He's Chef Evan up in the kitchen.
Wow, good for you,
Just
Coach
cooking.
T.
I think that Tomlin's out coaching him. And it's not just Tomlin. It's not just head and head, but taking a timeout before the 2-point conversion at the end of the game to see what they're in, and then I just think that the way that Coach Belichick used to out-coach certain teams, it feels like that's what we're doing to them. We're just out-coaching them. And there's something about it. I mean, the fact that like I said, we talked about Henry fumbles. Lamar isn't typical Lamar. I mean, his QBR throughout the year has been astronomical. He's an MVP candidate again, probably going to get it, or potentially could have got it. And then all of a sudden against us, it's just there's nothing there. There were so many times during that game as I'm watching where he's scrambling, doing his thing where it's just like, it's unbelievable how long he can just scramble. You are not supposed to be able to cover. Like, if you scramble like that, somebody's going to be open. It just can't. You can't scramble for that long, and you can't cover for that long in the back end. He was scrambling around and still not being able to find people. Now, whether they're really open, he just couldn't find them, or were covering like that long, whatever it is, but he couldn't. There was no Lamar magic. Now, he brings them down. He gets them a chance to score at the end of the game, but then they go for 2, and like, what was the 2-point play? Like, how are you rolling left? And there's no receiver. Like, are you trying to trick everybody? Like, something got screwed up. How do you not have Derrick Henry in the game?
Yeah.
Like that's what I was saying. Beast. Like, put both options in there. Read option. I'm fine with the options, but you're taking yourself out of the game and not even putting him in there. And it's like, I just don't understand. I think that's again. I think Tomlin called the timeout a perfect timeout. I think they had a play. I think the Baltimore had a play picked that is like their 2-point favorite, and they're ready to do it. Tomlin called a timeout. Now all of a sudden, when that happens, typically as an offense, you change your play. Like, okay, they saw this play. They're going to be prepared. They're going to be prepared for that play. So let's switch it up. And it's like, but they didn't think like, let's just have Lamar roll this way, away from everybody. And we're not going to put Derrick Henry on the field. Matter of fact, we're not going to give him many carries throughout the game. We're going to abandon our run altogether. And it's just like, the play, like Peyton Wilson, the interception. What a play.
Magical.
But the things that happen in that game are like only things that happen in this rivalry, only things that happen to Baltimore against us. Tucker missing 2 field goals. I mean, Boz is in Tucker's head.
You think?
I do, something.
Yeah.
Oh, Heinz Field is. Goodness, I did not mean that. Acrisure is.
I'm going to have to fix that in post.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's just like, I think Boz, like, again, Boz coming on this show, he probably should come on every week.
I think that's the only
6 field goals. I mean,
QB1.
What are we doing?
That blows my mind.
So anyway, I don't know. There's a lot I just threw out there, but it just feels like, and I know it feels like Baltimore just can't handle us. And I'm going to say this is a true story. So obviously everyone knows Renegade. We helped the Steelers win with Renegade in Washington.
That is right.
You that didn't watch, go watch. What I think, so Renegade is such a unique thing to the stadium, right? When it plays, the fans go nuts. It gets really loud, and it has this like special power.
It does.
The Ravens were the first team that I ever saw when I was playing that when that song came on, it was like like Harbaugh and them. They I know they did this. They would play it at practice sometimes. When it came on, they would reverse psychology. Like, hey guys, when they play Renegade, let's use this as a hype video for us. Like, let's get excited. So I remember when it would come on, their guys would get on the bench and start like getting hyped, like it was their hype song.
Yeah.
And I think what it's doing is that's all in the game. It's all in the psyche. It's all in the sticks. It's something. It's just the more the cooking in the kitchen, and Baltimore can't handle it.
I was gonna ask.
They can't handle it,
and I feel like we've had conversations about this before. But like when you were playing, did you feel that? Because that rivalry has always been intense. You've always described it, and everyone on the team does. It's like, hey, you're gonna hurt on Monday.
Absolutely,
for sure.
And it's a short week. The NFL did that 1,000%.
They're like, let's hurt them, and then give them, yes.
Yes.
But was there a point in time when in your career when you're playing Baltimore and it's like it's a fight, and you played against some legendary Baltimore teams?
Yes.
But was there ever a point in time when you felt like, oh my goodness, they were in their head?
Not till recently, not till the last
couple years.
Really? And I'm removed obviously from the last couple, so it's it's not just me. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this team, this offense in Baltimore was a juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
They were unstoppable, and now our defense is really good, but we shut them down. We made them. Derrick Henry rushed the ball 13 times, I think. Like, what are we doing,
bro? I didn't see Lamar even try to run.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's going on? And I think that our defense is really good. We possessed the ball a little bit on offense, and we weren't even great on third downs for a long time. So it wasn't like anything crazy. But I think you go and they missed two field goals, like just some of the things that happen.
Yeah, and
it just like, man, it just feels different. Feels different?
So feeling that last couple of years of your career, and obviously watching it in the year since you've been gone. Does that impact how you guys prepare from it all? Like, hey, we're in their head clearly. Like,
no. You still have to. You still have to go. No. You're still going into it. It's not like you're playing Cleveland, right? You still.
I
said I love
the unnecessary.
Sorry.
Cleveland's out here catching strays, bro.
No, but you still have to, because you're like, okay, this is like every time.
Baltimore.
Yes, every time we played them, it was a close game, except for the time I threw 6 touchdowns and we blew them out.
That one.
That game is always a physical, crazy game. So the fact that we kicked 6 field goals and won, by 2, that's typical.
Yeah.
Like predict the game, 10-12, 15-12 is what you would have said. No one's going to say 36-32. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I just think that we have them. I think there were some things that happened in that game. You saw, there were like at least 3 fights. Fights, pushing, shoving. Even Boz got into a little bit on an extra point. Guy got in his way. Then Muth comes over and gives him a little love tap. When Boz is trying to fight people, Boz is like a kicker fighting is like a quarterback and a goalie fighting.
That's what I'm saying.
You jump in
you
quick
can't touch
and
the kicker.
No one's doing it. So
yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always interesting to me, man. Because my wife and I went to the game this week because we're like, dude, it's Ravens week. That's like it's just a magical time, man. Like it's just that I feel like every time you're watching that game, you're watching some like a brick in history between these two teams.
Yeah, there's always the things that happen in that game. Like at the end of the half, Baltimore is trying to run a screen, right? We're kind of running the clock out, but we're kind of running a play if we get some yards, and they fumble.
Yeah,
Patrick Queen comes in, takes the ball away from him, and
recovers it.
And it's like those things don't happen. But it's happening because they just can't handle
man. That's crazy, man. So do you feel the same way when you go play in Baltimore? I know, like obviously when you have Steelers,
it's different.
Fans,
it's different there because that's a tough place to play. Their fans are really into it. It's like if you can go in there, if you can go into that place and keep it close going into the 4th, you're like, man, we got a chance.
Yeah.
Like we can do this because anything can happen in this rivalry. And when you go to Baltimore, you're happy to win by 1. When you're here, you're like, man, okay, we'll take a win by 1, but we want to blow them out.
Right.
But when you're in Baltimore, man, we just got to win this thing by 1.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about some key plays, man, because there was a lot of crazy stuff that happened. The first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the rookie. Peyton Wilson does some kind of, I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't even know how he did that, but his interception where he gets up to block the ball, man, and just doesn't give up on it and continues the motion all the way down to come up with that ball. What were you thinking when you saw that?
Yeah, I thought, slightly underthrown ball. He had him beat, throw it out there a little bit. He's going to run. But again, you throw it there to give your guy a chance. Worst case scenario, I thought that ball was going to be incomplete. And also you see people pointing. My next concern was that, okay, sometimes you see it happen where the offensive guy catches it. And when he's on the ground, the defender rips it away. So I'm like, okay, they need to really watch this to see, like, kind of, was he down by contact? And I thought it was a really close call. I thought it benefited us that they gave the turn, they switched and gave the turnover, which I think is a smart move by the officials because then it's automatically reviewed.
Sure.
I thought that I was nervous because CBS does such an awful job of showing replays.
What do you mean?
Like they show the interception which we'll talk about that Russ had in the end zone. Like, I want to see what happened.
Yeah.
They show it like one time. Like, show me more.
I want them to show the replay of a different game. Just like, and in Miami, this is what's happening.
I just want to see it because I want to see, like, why did Mount Washington not jump? Like, what's going on?
I was going to ask you about that next. Yeah.
But anyway, the play that Peyton made was spectacular. I think, to me, what I see in my head after that play was TJ Watt, not just defensive MVP. I think I'm going to make a case for him on this show in the next couple of weeks to be league MVP. he goes up to him and who knows what was said, but he shows him love and respect. And when that guy comes up and shows you love and respect, you know you did something right.
Yeah, bro, that's the captain.
Yep.
That's the captain. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I want to stick with the young bucks here because you were talking about him. Darnell Washington. Russ is rolling out. I want to get to the quarterback play here in a little bit, but I want to talk about this throw specifically because watching it in the stands, I wasn't sure if he timed his jump. I mean, because he looked like he didn't jump at all.
Didn't jump at all.
So is that the issue with that play?
Well, no. The issue is that Russ probably shouldn't have thrown it. Sure. To be honest. That being said, I need to take that back because he's giving his guy a chance to make a play.
A big guy.
A big guy that whether he can jump or not, if he puts one arm up, he's 13 feet in the air.
Brother, I told you, he's 15 feet tall. He could throw it into the Monongahela and he could catch it.
So, he's giving his guy a chance. It'd be one thing if Russ threw that jump ball to Calvin Austin.
Sure.
He threw it up. He saw a big guy. He threw it up. Did Mount Washington think like it was out of play? Did he think there was a guy behind him? Like, what was the thought? I don't know. I wasn't there. You just don't want the turnover in the red zone. I've been there. Don't turnovers in the red zone. It guts you as a player. Guts your team, guts your coach, especially in such a close game. And in this game, it's the worst. But I can't put all the blame on Russ because I didn't see Mount Washington make a play.
Yeah.
Again, what was going through his mind, I don't know. But it's just such a crucial. I mean, at that point, you're like, oh my goodness, this game is just took a. I mean, it's like. I'll be honest. I thought like it's over.
Really? In that moment?
I did. I was nervous. But again, you come back and make a play right after.
Well, to your point, all kinds of crazy stuff happened. One thing that stood out to me was I think it was in the first quarter, going for it on fourth down. I feel like it's very un-Tomlin-like to do that. What did you think about that? Going for it on fourth? Not crazy on Ravens week? You're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I would have just liked to see him get downhill. They do a little counter move and pull. Again, they did it later in the game. I love the put Fields in. Mm-hmm. Bring a big guy in that can run, give you options, give you a read option, run it downhill. Little quarterback power. Mm-hmm. I know he had a run later in the game, which I thought was a great call, bringing him in. I hated that he slid early. I know he knows where my wife was like, he wasn't touched. He wasn't touched. I'm like, no, they protect the slide.
Yeah.
It's where you start the slide. And I actually thought it was a generous spot. I thought it was about one more yard than probably I thought where he started the slide. Really? I thought it was about the 38. They gave it to him 39. But I love bringing him in for that. I would like, what about bringing Fields in the red zone a little bit?
Dude,
let's use some of the quarterback runs. Maybe we'll ask Evan when he comes down what his thoughts are on that. I would love to see a change up in the red zone a little bit just to utilize his legs. We know he had I think 5 touchdowns this year.
Yeah, dog.
Like why not bring him in the red zone a little bit to mix it up?
Why do you think they didn't do it? Because they clearly had a package prepared for him where they're trying to get first, right? And when you have a clear running quarterback, does that kind of show your hand a little bit?
You got Lamar.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying if you're bringing him in.
I mean, yeah, but you know what? What you can do is you can go ahead and take away the run, and I'm gonna throw it on you.
Yeah, because he got the arm
because he can throw too.
He got the arm. Yep.
He's not just a guy that comes in and doesn't do anything. So I don't hate going for it on the fourth down, the early one. I just would have liked to see either a downhill or with a Fields in there. Yeah. And so again, I love the fact they brought Fields in late in the game to utilize him on some stuff. Fourth down late, they had Russ in. They brought Fields back. The kind of mix up, making use timeouts. I like utilizing him.
Yeah. So being there when Fields ran on the field, the place erupted.
Yeah, they're excited.
Yeah, they were super stoked. Yeah, man. You like seeing them use the talent that's on the team, man. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I'm curious. Why aren't we using the middle of the field? I saw Darnell Washington did twice.
Got a couple. Yeah,
twice
they got Washington a couple times.
But you're telling me he's not going to win with a linebacker?
You would sure think so. I'm still trying to figure out why we're not using Pat more. I don't know. I think that so the question is so Russ again starts a little slow, but they win, right? Like to me, this feels a lot like what we were talking about early in the season with Fields. Stats aren't pretty, but we're finding a way to win. So that makes everything okay. Do I think that Russ is controlling things a little at the line of scrimmage and doing more? Sure. But no, I think that it's I think it's really, really good the way things are going right now.
Well, hey, here we go, Chef Evan.
I am so hungry. Did I tell you that I haven't eaten lunch?
No, perfect.
Hey man,
Got some food here.
I'm so hungry.
Sorry. What's up, man?
Hello, how are you?
What are you wearing there, Ev?
Oh, this stuff?
Yeah.
Got it from my friends there at the Market District Giant Eagle.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, they like what we're doing here, so they got a sponsorship with me.
Wait,
Did you get it
with us?
Me. See, I've got the shirt and everything.
That's all on, man.
So
Did you get a Giant Eagle sponsorship?
I did. Yep. So this episode is sponsored by Giant Eagle.
So our first official ever sponsorship of this show is actually Evan.
It's me.
So 2 Super Bowls does nothing. 1 cookbook. Really?
Yeah.
Did they give you all? Is all this from Giant Eagle?
All of it is from Giant Eagle, yes. The wings, the burgers.
Bill,
Some
this
halushki.
What is this?
Halushki.
I don't even know. If I don't even want to talk to Evan right now.
you got a Giant Eagle sponsorship, and we've been doing this show for 3 years.
Well,
I don't know what to think. You know what, Evan? I was going to ask you questions about the game.
oh,
Okay.
I got stuff in here.
Would you have a knife in there?
Hey, Evan, where'd you get that? Where'd you get
Oh,
that
my.
fanny pack, bud?
Giant Eagle.
Yeah, I see that. I see that from Giant Eagle.
This is.
got a book
I can't do
here,
this
too.
anymore. You what?
Got my book here too.
Okay.
Are you going to just rattle things off, or can I ask you a question first?
You can ask me a question, please.
Would you like to rattle your things off first?
No.
No.
Okay. What was going through your mind as a Yinzer? And that's with all love, because I'm a Yinzer.
I appreciate that.
When Russ threw the interception,
Whoa.
what was going through your mind?
First of all, I mean, I don't want to call out any players at all because they're athletes, obviously. They do this for a living. They're very good. And I sit there and I watch it. So why didn't
With all due
Darnell
respect.
Washington jump? He's 7'9". He could have just tipped it. That's it.
So okay, that's what I want to know.
The pass was ill-advised. I don't think it was a good idea.
Okay.
At
Wrong
that
good
point.
idea. When it happened, so that's why I said, you don't like to see the turnover there, but I would have liked to have seen Mount Washington do something.
Yeah, fight for your life at that point. It's so important, especially being down there, and not to mention possibly getting the first touchdown of the game.
So when it got intercepted, were you just devastated?
Oh yeah.
What does Chef Evan do? Are you watching like on a chair or a couch? Do you have a spot? Are you standing up?
So it depends. Like there's a bean bag next to the couch, and I usually sit on the bean bag. It's just more comfortable.
Okay.
I got the dogs around me, and it's
But you
comfortable.
can't get up and out of a beanbag. You can't get up and
Oh,
down.
I can.
Try it.
So
I can
Try it.
move
We're
quick
gonna
when I need to.
When I need to. When there's an interception, I'm getting up.
I'm up.
So he's rolling out and he goes to throw it. Are you jumping out of the beanbag?
You think he's throwing it away, right?
I'm leaning forward a little bit, preparing for
a touchdown?
what could be. Sometimes it's a roll on the floor, and then a stand up. They can't all be tens.
the rollout.
Okay.
Some
So
of
he
them-
throws it and the ball goes over and you're watching Mount Washington not jump for it, and then you see them intercept it. Are you like, is it like you just like devastated? Are you yelling?
At that point, I'm in my own head doing like damage control for myself and for my son, like talking him off the ledge of like, look, defense has been playing great. We just need the defense to do what they were doing the whole time
Okay.
and get the ball back, and then we'll go from there.
It's good.
Okay, that's good.
It's like a scene from Inside Out. Like all the Chef Evans in your head are just calming everyone down.
Okay. When they score their touchdown to go down 2, are you what's now? Every blade of grass, 2-point play, and Derrick Henry's not. Why are you not putting Derrick Henry on the field?
Oh wow, yeah. Why wasn't he out there? He's just.
It's like, what? Let's not put him on the field, and then let's roll away from all of our receivers.
Yeah,
Smart.
Was there any receivers on that side of the
There's
field?
a tight end
No
blocking.
need. No need.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that ran through my head on that 2-point conversion was last year when they tried to do that with Mark Andrews. Remember, he ran out the side of the into the end zone, and TJ was right there pressuring, and it just went off Andrews' hands. So I think that not the Browns. Look at me, goodness,
You're
I'm getting ahead of
nervous.
myself.
Oh, relax. We haven't got to the Browns yet. See, you need your notebook because
Yes,
we got him
you
flustered.
gotta stick to the notes.
Hey, Giant Eagle, if you want to sponsor us and not Evan because he can't handle it.
Yeah, you can't handle the pressure.
Okay,
Excuse
coffee,
me.
some
I
water?
apologize. No, I was just nervous. you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens, but
No, I just think that the Ravens find a way to screw themselves up.
Amen.
And,
That's
true.
if you set the table, it'll happen. And because I think that to an extent, like Harbaugh wants to prove that he's a better coach than Tomlin.
So,
Wow, good point.
to what
Yeah.
I said is basically Tomlin is Chef Evan cooking in Harbaugh's kitchen.
Oh yeah, all day, baby.
Like
Yeah.
it's
There you go.
whatever. What y'all want here? Dessert? You want souffle? What are we
You
doing
name
here?
it, we got it.
He's in there cooking.
Yeah.
Because Harbaugh's a great coach. They're a great team, but they can't handle us.
Yeah, as soon as it's like Tomlin is Harbaugh's kryptonite
that's a good
because Harbaugh's it's running in his head, and he's like, "What can I do that they're not going to expect?" But at the same time, it's you're compromising your team at
sure,
that
yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Coach T should get sponsored by Giant Eagle. He'd be cooking too much in Harbaugh's head.
It's like Tucker missing 2 field goals. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Whoa,
How'd you feel
Bob's,
about that?
Bob's 6 for 6 probably because of
You did
food.
cook for him?
that whenever Tucker was missing those field goals, those were up out of the beanbag
Yeah.
quick.
Yes, that's a
Quick.
Are you sore? I'm getting up now.
No. I'm a well-oiled machine. All right?
Gotta keep it.
Okay, give me a couple
The
notes.
first thing I have is Boz with
Yeah.
multiple exclamation points because
Multiple explanation.
yes,
Accurate.
'cause, wow, that's great. That's the second time this season
Yeah.
we've gotten just field goals.
Hopefully that will. Oh, hold on. Let me show the food before you divvy it up there.
I'm
There
sorry.
you go,
Oh,
folks.
sorry.
There you go. That's the Chef Evans menu there. There you go.
I'm so hungry. So
Yeah, I
keep
haven't
on,
eaten
Evan.
yet either. Go.
I think at the same time you have to give the holder some credit there too,
oh yeah, the unsung,
Corliss
unsung
Waitman, yeah.
hero.
because just one little shift one way or the other, that ball you could be Justin Tucker.
Oh, wow.
Goodness.
Shots fired.
His
Yeah.
name is Evan. Chef Evan.
I like the turnovers early and the turnovers late. I think getting the ball off of Derrick Henry was kind of set the tone defensively for the Steelers, and then that interception where
Wilson.
ripped the ball out of
Yeah.
his hands. That was pretty amazing. And then that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I was
How
going
did
to throw some shade at Lamar, but I'm not going to. I was going to, but I'm
was
not.
it a clever, like a cleverly worded?
No, it was
shade?
just it was.
You don't- I mean, don't
it was
feel-
more. It was just like he can't hang with that Steelers defense.
No, he really
He
can't.
turns into putty,
And
It's
we,
just-
we discussed that.
Wow, he turns to putty.
yeah,
Wow.
he just doesn't even.
Right, 2-time MVP. I mean, that's
I get that, but I'm saying against the Steelers.
I
it's
don't.
like,
I don't
there's
know
something.
what. Well, I texted Ben Duran and I was like, Lamar
good.
looked like he's not good at football.
Yeah.
like this is one of the greatest football players
It
on the
is.
planet.
Yeah, he's very
It's crazy.
good.
What year?
Evan, is this a pierogi on my burger?
That is a pierogi.
Hey, break down the. Actually, let's do this. Let's do
What do
this.
I'm sorry.
We jumped the menu because we
things.
were excited about this game. Evan, if you wouldn't mind, please break down the menu that you made here.
Sure.
For us
There's
here.
some halushki in the bowl there, and I kind of went with like
There you go here.
the cabbage noodles, and then I made it like a spicy dill pickle
Oh, shit,
cabbage
little
and
spice to it.
noodles.
Yeah.
And then I got a burger there on a pretzel bun, and it's got some beer cheese on there, caramelized onions, and a pierogi.
It's not good at all.
And then I did some sweet heat grilled wings, so a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of heat. All of these things I got from the Giant Eagle. So
Are these these market district finds? What are we
Yes.
working with here?
yep, the wings and the ground beef and the noodles, all the way to the onions.
So good. So good.
So
Well, listen, man.
Wait, I have 2 things for Evan.
Please.
Sorry, in between bites.
you're fine.
That's ridiculous.
That zip was so loud in my
So
ears.
ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
What rank your AFC teams right now? Go.
Oh yeah.
1 to 5.
Steelers.
Number 1?
For
Like
real,
AFC,
or is that
AFC North?
No. It's
AFC.
only, well, you can't go 1 to 5 in the North. Is that a homer pick, or do you really believe that?
No, I don't think they're number one.
Wow.
Oh, you heard it here
Wow.
first, Steeler fans.
I don't. No disrespect at all.
Oh, wow. Let's
You've
punch
got
in.
the Chiefs, and at any moment they can just explode and start putting up points, and
Agreed.
they're scary.
Okay. So who's won? Chiefs.
Chiefs, and then probably the Bills, and then the Steelers, and then the Ravens. And I think those are the only teams you really need to know about, really.
Yeah, that checks out.
Evan, watch out for the Chargers.
Oh yeah,
we
the
did talk
Chargers are coming on another Harbaugh, but
Another hardball.
Yeah.
Okay, then my second and final question for you that I can think of right now. What did you think of Coach Cower doing Bills Mafia through the table?
Gosh, they couldn't pick him up fast enough. That man's a legend. Like, they should have put more padding under there.
Give him a little cushion, right?
But he did all right, and he got up. Like, they ran over, but
he had to show he's an athlete.
He got more air than JJ Watt did. JJ ran through it. I saw Coach lining up for it. I was like, oh, please don't.
Taking off the jacket.
Please don't jump, Coach.
It's happening.
Good for him, man.
Well,
all right.
Evan.
Yes.
Congratulations on your sponsorship.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm proud of you. I mean, I'm not really happy with you, but I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that.
We've come a long way.
We have.
Look at us.
More to go.
Nice fanny pack.
Thanks. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Evan.
We do this show for 3 years. You've won multiple Super Bowls.
Is that real? He really got... This is really from John.
Look at the bottom of the screen. I don't know even how he did that, but this is now brought to you by Giant Eagle.
Wow.
Well,
Evan, thank you, Evan.
That's actually really encouraging. The very first footballing sponsor of all time. Oh, no. Not because of two-time Super Bowl champion Ben Roethlisberger.
Not because of me.
Chef Evan.
These wings are pretty good, too.
Yeah, well, if you leave some for me, I will gladly eat it. Where'd that burger go, bud?
Man, I'm telling you, I was so hungry, one. And two, it was so good.
I'm telling you, bro, I went up before the show. I was eating veggie straws. Well, listen, man. You look like you might need a drink with that meal.
Or you.
Let me.
People are going to make fun of me, too.
What?
Ben's over their house and food. Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
unapologetic.
Hey, a professional athlete, 6'5", guys. Guy needs to eat. This beer actually was given to us from our good friends over at Giant Eagle.
Oh, nice.
And made, I don't know, there you go. And made by our other good friends at Cinderlands, the Cinderlands Beer Company.
Cinderlands. I like Cinderlands a lot.
Again, another phenomenal Pittsburgh brewery. Big fan of the stuff that they make. This beer is called Rotisserie Czechen, like a Czech style dark lager. Cinderlands does not miss with the names either. Ooh, a dark lager. Let's see how you feel about
Really,
this one,
this is where
bro.
we're at?
This was a gift from the good people over at Giant Eagle.
We've had amazing food.
This is actually pairs very well with some of the stuff that we just
My
ate.
hands are so messy.
Please spill it. Please spill it. I want you to know how I feel.
I'm going to use my pinky. There we go. Cheers. Again, if you're just listening,
Go check
you
this.
might want to check this out. I'll probably get barbecue sauce on my white hat.
Yes. There you go. There you go. Athlete. He's an athlete. What do you think about that? They're pretty good.
I'll tell you what. The nice thing is about Giant Eagle is you can get great food and a lot of selection of beers.
Yes.
That's not what I'm going to buy again.
That's not yours. I knew you were not going to like it. We're 0 for 2 today, folks. Yeah.
I'm going to put that guy right
But as
there.
far as dark lagers go,
Yeah, listen, it's not awful. Sorry, Spence. I know, Mike, you always tell me, keep the mic close to your mouth. But
yeah, I'm trying to help the people.
the
That's what's going on.
I got so much going on.
Dude, here you go.
I mean, this is like you ever eat wings? You don't use a napkin. You just go wash. You just
go
go
wash.
wash your hands.
You
That's
just go
what I feel like I
wash.
need to do.
Yeah.
But then you got my sink out of the shot now too.
Yeah. Now you can't wash.
Well, I'm not done eating either.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite beer.
No, but it's a good dark lager.
It's fine. Yeah, it's. I'm not. It's fine.
I could do one of those. You know what? The problem, I think the problem for you on this is it's like flirting with being a porter. Mm-hmm. It's almost a porter. But I was
a little nervous when I took a drink.
it's not full porter. It's a little bit. It's
So a little porter.
yeah, a little porter.
It's like a.
It's a JPJ. It's a JPJ.
It's a joy porter drink.
Yeah, man, go check it out. There it is.
That's the cool thing, though. When you get cool, unique beers like that, is a Giant Eagle or whatever, you can go just try things. Get a
Yes.
little 4-pack, get a 1-pack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I will tell you this, man. So
Right. I need to be
if you guys don't send in beers to the show, which you guys can do, the address is in the description of these videos and or audio podcasts. I go to Giant Eagle to buy the beers. Their beer selection is incredible, and you can get this right now at Giant Eagle. So go check it out. Or at Cinderlands, stop by any of their locations. They're not sponsoring this episode, but they're awesome. So go check it out. It's called Rotisserie Check-In. I mean, just go buy it for the sheer fact that that's a hilarious name. So,
man.
But what a football and family dinner that was there, bud. I was going to ask you about your kids and all that stuff, but like, you know what I mean? We might have to save that for another time.
We definitely can.
Yeah.
I'm not nearly, my blood isn't boiling nearly as much as it was before.
Yeah.
Because yes, homework is real. Those of you parents out there that know.
Hey, did they change math from when we learned it?
A lot of times. I don't know how math changes, but sometimes it changes.
It just looks different now.
And the problem is because we're partial homeschool, so we have to do a lot of work at home.
By we, you mean you and Ash have to do that?
Yeah. And luckily we have like an answer key book because otherwise there's no chance. No chance. And that's amazing how much like that show. Remember they used to have a show called Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff you had to like, gosh, I need to Google this. Because you're like, hey, Dad, what's this? I'm like, oh, really? That's super easy.
Yeah.
No.
ChatGPT.
But yeah, you start getting into like some of this math stuff, and it's like he's like, Dad, how do I do this? I'm like, well, I have the answer key here. I know what the answer is. I don't know how we got to it though.
Hey, let's be honest. Remember back in the day when your teacher was like, "Oh, you can't use a calculator in math because you're not gonna have a calculator in your pocket always."
Yeah, you are.
Jokes on you, Miss Smith.
I think, I'm so like so. That here's the issue we had. We're not gonna go deep into this because this is just a little parenting thing. The issue is my son tried to hurry and do his homework.
Interesting.
Okay.
Been there.
So he hurried and got it done. And then when we go to check it, there's multiple wrong.
Yeah.
And he's really, really good at math. And I'm like, dude, we're spending so much time correcting when if you would have just took your time and done it right the first time, then we wouldn't be going through this like later. You know, it's like one of those things like, okay, do you want to take the time, do it right the first time, or do you want to speed through it and then we got to go through it and correct and do also? I mean, it's a life lesson, right?
Yeah.
It's like anything in life.
Do it right, do it twice.
Do it right the first time. And so, but then you're sitting up there and you're like, you start getting frustrated, and then he's asking a question, and you're giving him an answer, and it's like, dude, and you can't just give an answer. You have to like kind of help him through an answer or check this page for this answer.
Right.
And so I think as a parent, and again, we don't need to get deep into this today, but as a parent, there's times that we can get super, super frustrated, and it's hard not to take. It's like you got to take it out on someone. They're the ones that are not taking the time or not doing it right. So naturally, you want to take it out on them. But the key is like, okay, I'm just going to take a break. Dad has to go take a break, or why don't you take a quick break? Because if you don't take those breaks and actually plan for them, you're going to end up going nuts on each other. I mean, literally at the end of homework, he is like, hey, Dad, thanks, love you. And I'm like, I know, buddy, I love you too. And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, dude, it's not your fault. Like, we got to work better together on this time. And it just, there's little frustrations that can boil up. So as a parent trying to work through that stuff, I think the key is just knowing when it's time to take a breath. Instead of trying to push through the frustrations and the anger and be like, and just boil something more. It's like, you know what, but I'm going to take a break real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah. Or why don't you take a quick break, go see mom, let mom give you a hug real quick.
Go see mom. Hey, go that way. Go that way.
But yeah, man, sometimes that homework can be frustrating. Not just for them. They're the one. I'm not even doing it. But with our schools, we have to check their homework.
Yeah.
You know, they don't take it in and get like a grade on it. It's like part of homeschool. No, it's a partial homeschool. So part of the partial homeschool is that you have to like you're a teacher. Like as a homeschool parent, you are the teacher, and so that's one of the things that we work through. And it definitely takes both of us to do it, and it's not easy. But I gotta go check more homework here in a little bit.
Yeah. No, dude, that's awesome, bro. Because I'm seeing that even happen with my my oldest daughter, who's now 3. Because what you're doing there, we do the same thing. I mean, as you know, you've had the 3-year-old stage.
Yeah.
Just being able to say, hey, Dad needs a break real quick, because you're exempling that self-control, man. You know, as we talk about example on this show all the time, man.
Well, not even just homework. If you feel like anything. If you feel like there's times like, you know, and sometimes it's you need like, you know, we talk about like it's not time out to tell your kid, hey, why don't you go to your room?
Yeah, take a break.
And just take a break. It's not punishment.
Yeah.
Just go separate. And when you're ready to come down, it's not even like you go up there for 20 minutes or go to your room and you're in timeout for. No, it's not that. It's, you know what? Go take a quick break. And when you're ready, come back down, or you're ready to kind of tackle this, or not just homework, anything. It's okay to take a break.
Right.
Go take a break. And you know what? Sometimes it's not always sending your kid to a break. Sometimes it's, hey, dad needs a break.
Well,
mom needs a break, whatever it is. And I'm gonna walk outside with the dogs real quick. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna take a quick minute, and then when I come back, I've reset myself. And if it's real bad, there'll be times like I am the first to admit that there have been times that I need to take my break has been prayer. Yeah. Like, God, I'm about to lose it. Yeah. Please reel me back in. Help me set a good example. Like, and I think that's the number one calming. I mean, that has calmed me down and got me back on track quicker than anything. But sometimes it gets to that point where it's like, man, I gotta go pray about this.
And I think what is awesome about that, bro, is I think that right there a lot of times is viewed as like, oh man, I'm failing because I need a break. I'm like, no, bro, you're succeeding because you took it.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's not failure. That's called being a human and dealing with children. Yeah. Like it's just what it is, man. So yeah, man, I'd love to see it because you are exempling. Because what they're going to do is they're going to look at dad and be like, all right, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. When dad's overwhelmed, I'm just going to take a break.
Kids feed off of like a certain like Ashley will always say like Benjamin, our oldest, will like whatever mood she's in, he'll be in, or vice. Like those two feed off each other. You know, she'll be like, I'm stressed. He just somehow like feeds off it. And so that's what you have to be aware. You got to be able to read that and see that and know that if someone's not in it, let the other person step up today. Because there's definitely something to be said about that.
Dad needs a break. I'm going to shoot a podcast, eat a delicious burger, and we'll be back up and do math, man.
Be right back. We'll be just fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's like, I mean, you're talking about dealing with kids and parenting. It leads right into this week's game against Cleveland. It's the Browns. Just saying. No, was that bad segue? That wasn't good.
That was a 10 out of 10, bro.
We don't need to get into the game.
What are you saying? What are you saying? That for 18 years you raised Cleveland?
The only thing that makes me nervous is the Thursday night game. One of my, I think, 2 losses against the Browns came on a Thursday night. Makes me, and in Cleveland, makes me a little nervous, but not that nervous.
What about the other 26?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Just, son, go to your room. Go to your room.
Please be the clip for the rest of the week. Yeah, so we got a short week. It's Thursday Night Football against Cleveland. I don't want to say it's an easy win, but
because Brendan said it's a trap game, but I disagree.
No, not this team. Nope, these boys playing their heart out. Well, hey, listen, guys, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna have an exciting episode next week. All right?
Yeah, I think we got a couple
heavy
really
hitters.
Cool things coming up.
Yeah, we got some heavy hitters. So do this. Go ahead and follow at Football with Ben on Instagram if you are not already, because we announce everything that's going on right there. You'll be the first to find out new stuff we're doing, exciting, maybe some guests, we don't know. But if you follow us on Instagram, you'll be the first to find out. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you again to our good friends over at Giant Eagle.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, for hooking it up with the food. We are excited to partner with you guys and share with you guys, the listeners, all the stuff that we've been using for years. So let's be honest. So we appreciate you guys as well. And listen, man, I expect to be here next week with another win under our belt, one step closer to the playoffs. So we appreciate you. Thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next week.
Later.